Hi there. It's June 13th. Wow, years flying by. It's time for Proverbs 13. So we're getting a late start this morning. Guess we're busy morning. So let's do this. Right? Let me check real quick. Yeah. Okay. I notice there's already some highlights in here, so must have used this version before, huh? Okay, contrast the upright and the wicked. A wise son accepts his father's discipline, but a scoffer does not listen to rebuke. Okay, there's scoffer, or there's mocker, scoffer, scorner. From the fruit of a man's mouth he enjoys good, but the desire of the treacherous is violence. Okay, now that's important. Okay. And then let's read this over here. Those who control their tongue will have a long life. A quick retort can ruin everything. I like that better. That's in the New Living Translation. And the NIV says, from the fruit of his lips a man enjoys good things. So, say good things, okay? Don't desire violence, okay? And it's hard to always say good things, okay? Always say good things. Eats good things. 3, the one who guards his mouth preserves his life. The one who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. I can just put that all together, huh? Know when to keep your mouth shut. That's important. Okay? That's really important. The soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, but the soul of the diligent is made fat. Like that. There are lazy people that sit around wishing, if I only had this. 5, a righteous man hates falsehood, but a wicked man acts disgustingly and shamefully. Right. 6, righteousness guards the one whose way is blameless, but wickedness subverts the sinner. Right. You do this, it'll be okay. No, it won't. 7, there is one who pretends to be rich but has nothing. Another pretends to be poor but has great wealth. Now, we all know people like this, right? There's people who pretend to be rich. They never let you get too close, but they let you see their big fancy cars and their fancy clothes and see them strutting around like they got something when they really don't have anything. And then we know those kind of people that they're rich. That guy's got millions. And he wears dirty old clothes and he drives an old beat up car and never gives to the poor, never gives to anybody. Okay? Miserable people. Okay, 8, the ransom of a man's life is his wealth, but the poor hears no rebuke. Right? If you're rich, people are after you. Okay? Someone's always after your money. If you're poor, you don't have that problem. Okay? Sometimes it's better to be poor if you can be happy with what you have and not always be like the person up here that craves and gets nothing. Hey. 9, the light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked goes out. There you go. Easy. Okay, we highlighted this before. Through insolence comes nothing but strife, but wisdom is with those who receive counsel. Insolence gives nothing but strife. Let's say over here. Pride leads to arguments. Pride. I have 4 versions over here, Parallel Bible, and they all say pride. Why can't they just say pride? It's an easy word. Through pride, comes nothing but strife. Right? Don't like pride. We like humble. God wants humble people. Okay? Wisdom is with those who receive counsel, or who take advice. Okay? Take advice. 11. Wealth obtained by fraud dwindles, but the one who gathers by labor increases it. Right? Slow and steady wins the race. Right? And yeah, if something gets something quick and easy, it's gone the next day. Happens every time. 12. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but desire fulfilled is a tree of life. Hope deferred. Hope deferred. Huh? Hope deferred, hope deferred, hope deferred. It says that in every version. Hope deferred. Yeah. Hope put off makes the heart sick. Deferred is like put off, right? But desire fulfilled is a tree of life. Or coming. Right. 13. The one who despises the word will be in debt to it, but the one who fears the commandment will be rewarded. Right. The word, God's word. There's a lot of people that despise this book. And one day soon they're going to be running to it to see what happens next, because they're going to see, somebody told me about this. Oh, it's this pledged to it. The word. Advice. Instruction. The word. The word. The two newer versions say advice and instruction. It says the word. And the word's not capitalized, so. Okay. We'll leave that alone. 14. The teaching of the wise is a fountain of life. Turn aside from the snares of death. Right. If you listen, you can avoid a lot of problems by listening to wise people. Okay? And how do you do that? You got to hang around wise people. Okay? 15. Good understanding produces favor, but the way of the treacherous is hard. Good understanding produces favor. You like that? Yeah. You understand something? 16. Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool displays folly or foolishness. Are you prudent? Or do you display foolishness? A lot of people do. Yeah. Pretend you know about something and you're talking about it, and somebody who really knows is over there laughing at you under their breath. Right? Okay, we're going to unhighlight this. A wicked messenger falls into adversity, but a faithful envoy brings healing. They used to use messengers back then. They didn't have internet. They didn't have mail. They would send runners back and forth. And a wicked runner, right? I'm lost there. There you go. For 17. They're wicked people. Just like politicians, There are wicked politicians who want to put their own slant on things instead of doing the work or representing the people, what the people want. They're supposed to be representatives, okay? It's not supposed to be their own idea. They're supposed to be doing what we want, not what they want. But, right? And you could change this word messenger with the word politician. A wicked politician falls into adversity, but a faithful politician brings healing. Okay. That's interesting. We'll highlight that again. 18. Poverty and shame will come to him who neglects discipline, but he who regards reproof or discipline will be honored. Instruction. Discipline is instruction. teaching somebody how to do something right. Okay? If you neglect that, poverty and shame. Don't follow directions. 19. Desire realized is sweet to the soul, but it is an abomination to fools to run away from evil. Desire realized is sweet to the soul, but it is an abomination to fools to run away from evil. What's that say over here? It is pleasant to see dreams come true, but fools will not turn from evil to attain them. Interesting, huh? Okay, we're at 1920. He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. There you go. You want to be wise? Hang around wise people. And the thing about wise people, they'll let you hang around. They're glad to instruct you and teach you. Okay? Because they're wise. Companion of fools will suffer harm. You hang around lowlifes and idiots, are going to be just like them. So, right? 21. Adversity pursues sinners, but the righteous will be rewarded with prosperity. Adversity pursues sinners. That's interesting. Yeah. New Living said, trouble chases sinners. Right. Misfortune pursues the sinner in the NIV. New King James says evil pursues sinners. So put whatever word fits in there, right? Adversity, trouble, evil pursues sinners. But the righteous will be rewarded with prosperity. Got that? The righteous will be rewarded with prosperity. And that means just what you think it means. Prosperity. No worries. Right? 22. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. Now, we talk about this every month. A lot of people seem to think that this means a good man leaves money to his grandchildren as his heirs. Now, if you think about the entire rest of the book of Proverbs and everything Solomon said, did he ever talk about getting wealth? No. He said that he does talk about wealth being the product of wisdom, okay? If you were wise. This whole book, he's talking about wisdom and seeking wisdom and being humble and following the law, and first and foremost, fearing the Lord and following his ways. That's the inheritance you leave your grandchildren. Knowledge, wisdom. And if you plant wisdom and knowledge, that other stuff will come. Okay? And to me, at least, that's what this means. Doesn't mean you're not a good man if you don't leave money to your grandchildren. Because it just talked up there previous in chapter where money suddenly turns to ruin, and it never lasts. You want an inheritance is something that will last. You want to give knowledge to your grandchildren. Give them your wisdom, your knowledge, the benefit of your years and your teaching. Okay? That's the inheritance you leave to your children's children. Okay. 23. Abundant food is in the fallow ground of the poor, but it is swept away by injustice. Right. Is in the fallow ground. A poor person's farm may produce much food, but injustice sweeps it all away. Yeah. Now there's some farms now in the Midwest that could be producing good food. I mean, they got beautiful ground, they got good soil, but there are so many laws and so many fees and so many fines and so many rules that they can't even farm their own land. Okay, swept away by injustice. It goes on then, it goes on now. We should leave the farmers alone and just let them do their thing, right? 24, he who withholds his rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him diligently. Okay, all right then. You don't spank your kids, you hate your kids. It says it right there, and it says it all over Proverbs, okay? You're sentencing them to death if you don't discipline them while they are young. You have to get them from 1 year old to like 9 years old. That's when they learn everything. That's when they learn all their habits. That's when they learn to be nice. That's when they learn respect. And they follow your example. And if you don't, okay, you hate your kids. Might as well say you hate your kids if you don't discipline them when they're young. Think about that. The righteous has enough to satisfy his appetite, but the stomach of the wicked is in need. The righteous always has enough. God sees to it that his children never go hungry. So there you go. That's Proverbs 13. Let's check over our highlights real quick here. I highlighted 2 and 3 because they kind of go together. From the fruit of a man's mouth he enjoys good, but the desire of the treacherous is violence. And the one who guards his mouth preserves his life. The one who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. Okay. From the fruit of a man's mouth he enjoys good. The one who guards his mouth preserves his life. Okay. If you only say good things, and most of the time don't say anything unless somebody specifically asked you, stay humble. Don't pretend to know everything. Right? You preserve your life and enjoy good. If you don't, the desire of the treacherous is violence. The one who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. Okay? It's always better to say very little than to say too much. We highlighted 7. The one who pretends to be rich but has nothing. Another pretends to be poor but has great wealth. And we talked about that too in depth. It's called a facade. You look up a facade. It's something that's fake. It's a mask. It makes people think. Because you want people to, think high of it. People you don't know, or people you'll never see again, you want them to think highly of you. Like, really? Why? And when you stop caring what other people think, especially people you don't know. It's one thing for your family and your wife and your, and the assembly and your church brethren. Okay. It's best to be humble around them too, but you don't want to put on a fake front and let them think you're something you're not. Okay. And it's just as bad. People that have great wealth pretend to be poor because they don't want to give it away. They worship their money. Okay? And I have known people like this that worship their money. Okay? In fact, I remember a guy from Glendale, California. I was a kid, and my aunt lived next door to this guy. And this was a very wealthy area of Glendale, California. It's like a Beverly Hills kind of a place. And my aunt lived in a very small house. And this guy next door lived in this big house, okay? But you couldn't see it. The weeds and trees were grown over so high. This section in a suburb town looked like a little forest. And you could see a little bit of a driveway. And my brother and I crawled up the wall and looked over, and the whole thing was filled with cars and stuff. And I said, wow. So we asked my aunt, who's that guy next door? She says, he's been there for many, many years and never talks to anybody and won't give anybody anything. So. But then he died, okay? He died in the squalor of his house. And it was found out later, okay? I mean, he had some distant relatives he never spoke to, which were very lucky relatives, turned out to be. Because it turns out the guy owned like 11 city blocks of land when he bought it. When he bought it, it was orange groves, but now it was 11 city blocks of downtown Los Angeles. It was worth like At the time, and this was back in the 60s, okay, the 1960s. It turns out that land was worth then, like, $300 million. Today it would be in the billions, okay? And he pretended to be poor. What did it get him? Got him nothing. Okay? Got him nothing. Somebody got it. But yeah. And people that pretend to be poor but has great wealth. Let's see. Hang on to something so tight that it'll turn into dust. But you could have shared it. All the things you could have done. But, oh well. Verse 10. Through insolence comes nothing but strife. Insolence. I already forgot what that was. Pride. Pride. Arrogance. Pride. Pride. Yeah, every other one says pride. Through pride comes nothing but strife. That's true. But wisdom is with those who take advice or receive counsel. Okay? Don't be too proud. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay? And we highlighted 17. A wicked messenger falls into adversity, but a faithful envoy brings healing. Okay? And we changed that. A wicked politician falls into adversity. Somebody who's supposed to represent somebody else. A messenger is somebody representing somebody else, okay? And you're supposed to take a message. It's just that what that person wants is the message you're supposed to portray to the person he is sending you to. With, this is what I want. Tell this person this is what I want. A wicked messenger falls into adversity. He's going to go, well, I don't want that. I want that. So he says, we want this. And he's going to say, we want this. And it's not at all. It's adversity. A faithful envoy brings healing. Could be healing to a nation. Think about that. We got to update these to today's problems, right? Okay, we highlighted 20. He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. Okay? You want to be wise? Hang around wise people. It says right there. He who walks with the wise men will be wise. Okay? Hang around. And you know what? They'll let you hang around them. They will. Wise people love to share their knowledge. And they love to be quiet unless you ask them specifically about something. And don't be surprised if you ask a wise person about something. He will tell you a story about that subject that he found out and became wise by doing something stupid. Okay? Lots of those stories. Okay. Part of 21. Adversity pursues sinners, but the righteous will be rewarded with prosperity. Okay? If you're righteous, you will always have enough. You'll always prosper. Yeah? Just that simple. 22 highlighted, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. Okay, we talked about this. In my mind, he's not talking about money because Solomon never talked about money. He talked about money as being the result of being wise. Okay, and following the Lord and doing what is right and being humble and knowing when to keep your mouth shut. That's the inheritance you want to leave to your grandchildren. Okay. And 24, we talked about that too. He who withholds his rod hates his son. If you don't spank your kids, you don't like them. It says it right here. And it's not talking about a timeout or putting it in the corner. It's saying withholds his rod. Okay. He who loves him disciplines him diligently. It means the consequences for something they do wrong have to be the same every single time. Okay? If you say, if you do that, you're going to get a SWAT, and they only get a SWAT 2 times out of 10, they're going to go, well, 80% of the time, it's worth taking the risk. You have to be diligent every single time. The penalty has to be the same every single time. Okay? And there you go. That's Proverbs 13. I think today we're doing more. Let's check out we're doing we're reading 2 Chronicles 6 and 7 and Psalm 136. Okay? Solomon. We're in the life of Solomon. So there you have it. That's today. It's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Thursday? I don't know what day it is. It might be Thursday. Okay, it's Thursday. Yesterday was Wednesday. I'm retired, so I lose track of the days all the time, which is kind of a nice thing, But there you have it. Stay tuned later. Give us a like if you think about it. Stay tuned later today for day 165 of Through the Bible in 1 Year. But until then, keep studying. Be humble. See you next time.